Yeah, so, my fellow residents, hi. For one, this is officially the longest Let's Play that I've done on the channel so far. Let me just get that out of the way. B, look, I may try to say as much crap as I want about games like Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance. I'll get into Dream Drop Distance at another point in time. But one thing that I absolutely love them for is a retry button. That is the best thing that has happened for the Kingdom Hearts series, and for right now, that is undebatable. Because, goodness, having to repeat that boss fight is not exactly fun. I mean, granted, I don't exactly have problems with the boss fight, but at the same time, it's more, this shouldn't be a thing. I shouldn't have to redo the boss, even though after the fact that I just, did it. But hopefully I'll have better luck in the next section. I probably should have saved my limit form for that, but yeah, mistakes have been made. And we shall learn from them, hopefully. I actually kind of realized, well, no, I can't use Master Form. That's one thing I never mentioned. Master Form, you need Donald and, well, it's not just Donald and Goofy. You have to use both of your party members in order to actually use it. Alright, I have to be very careful about you, because you killed me last time. You and another one got me killed. So, goodness, there's the other one. Thank you, Rising Sun. Alright. This reaction command is very, very good. And I don't know where Tifa was when I was getting mauled in a corner, but sure, whatever. Why are there 3 of these here? Who thought this was good? There's 4? 5? What? Why? Okay, reflect, time the cheese. Ow, that was bad. This is just bad timing. But yeah, I had to cheese that out, otherwise I was not winning that. Goodness, that was terrible. I don't know why Square thought that was a good idea. I don't know why they did, but whatever. Actually no, I want to save the limit form if I can. Because there's a very good reason. Need to see if I can get the reflect. Oh my goodness, stop. And Cloud is very good. He's a very, very good ally. Unlike Tifa, who apparently could not help me in the last fight. And I just ended up dying instantly. Okay, not dying again. Not going through that again. We're just gonna do this. There we go. And we'll do it one more time. Now, in the last episode, I mentioned that, my phone just went off, but whatever. But in the last episode, I was going to mention how limit form works. I will mention it in a little bit because we are actually in a very, very prime spot for limit form grinding.
Yeah, I'm fine, but...
Goofy.
Hey, fellas!
Goofy!
Goofy.
You know, that really hurt.
Aw, Goofy.
Of course, Your Majesty. I get bumped on the head all the time. Oh, wow, whoa, whoa, whoa! That hurt too!
Oh, don't you ever do that again!
And I know I just said this, but you know the whole thing I mentioned about the whole limit form teaching? I'm gonna do that later. I need to get out of this world. This world's driving me insane because of how many times I've died in it. Granted, the whole Dimix thing was only one time, but there was another fight in the last episode that took more than one fight. So, that's fun. But, oh, my drive gauge is refilled. Whatever. But that's not... Oh, torn pages. That's also really nice. But what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be going throughout other worlds and doing some other things that I'm actually able to do. It's only going to be like a few things. There's not as many things that you can do in the first game as you could. Well, not. There's not as many things that you can do in this game that you could in the first. So, yeah, this is the right room. Okay. One thing we're going to do is an absent silhouette, because I never got to that. Now, This absent silhouette is Zexen, which we saw in the last episode, like near the very end of it. He was in a cutscene that made the episode last longer than I would have liked. Now, the earliest that I have been able to complete this is after you beat the Timeless River World, because that's where you get Reflect, and Reflect is... it's already broken, but it's pretty much needed in order to get through a certain section of this fight. That's like the bare minimum. But now that we're here, we can just do this, and thankfully he got Donald first. Also, our attack stat is really good, and it kind of shouldn't be. Okay, so we're gonna wait a little bit. Is my summon thing still out? Yes, it is. Okay, we're gonna use Chicken Little here, because Chicken Little is pretty broken in this because of his whole whistle thing. Because his whistle gets rid of the books. Like, all of them, or at least most of the ones that are nearby. He is really good for this fight, so if you can, make sure you use him. And then, while you're out here, you can just wail on Zexen until you get put back into the book world. And now, we're not at the final section. That's nice. Oh my goodness. Okay. Over there, you. But, realistically, you're supposed to find which book is the one that Zexen's hiding in. But since A, Chicken Little can just get rid of them, and B, he's not exactly doing the best of job at hiding himself, given the attacks. Give me my thing. There we go. That took forever, but considering that he's not exactly doing the best of job of hiding himself, yeah, we can find him pretty easily since he's the only one not actually heading towards us. So now we'll be in the final stage of the fight, which we won't really need Chicken Little for. So, I'll just keep him there just so the summon gauge can disappear. Alright, so this final section, you have these 3 spotlights, and they'll keep going in between, and then they'll slow down. And then you have a very, very small amount of time before you can react and get yourself in there. Now, when I said that you could do it earlier than that, oh my goodness, get to the book, please. It's over here somewhere. There we go. Okay, it actually worked. That was weird because his shadow didn't show up. But, in that spotlight, you have a very, very slim chance to actually make it. And if you don't make it into the spotlight, there's one other thing that you can do, which is why you only need Reflect. And I need to time this, so... okay, I have to focus there. But one thing that you can do is that you can use Reflect, and you have to use... I think at the bare minimum, I think you can use only 3, but it's safer to have 4. 4 combos, I mean, because one thing you can do is you use Reflect throughout all of the meteors that come down. I need to focus. There we go. But you need to use Reflect to make sure you don't die from the meteors. But since my reaction timing is very, very good, we can just kill him now. But yeah, the earliest, like I said, you can beat him is once you get Reflect. But if you want to be even better, make sure that you get Dodge Slash from leveling up Wisdom Form. Because, well, not Dodge Slash, what am I talking about? Slide Dodge? I think that's what it's called. I forget what it is. But now we have a few synthesis items, and we can just turn those into the synthesis shop wherever that is. But we're not exactly going to worry about that right now. There was another one here. Problem is we can't do anything with that. And the only... unfortunately, the one grinding spot that we had for Master Form is up here, but we can't go there because of story. So, yay. There's an absent silhouette here, but that's like the last one that you're able to do. There's one in Twilight Town, I remember that. We can go there. But it's, this one isn't really hard, in my opinion. To be honest, this is probably like the easiest one. But it's probably better if you do this one later as well. Ooh, I have another one of these now. So I can put... in this fight, it's better to have defense than anything else, so... oh, you have nothing. Right. I forgot. When the whole story thing happens, you basically loot Goofy of all of his items. As messed up as it is, you loot Goofy of all of his items, so make sure you re-equip him with everything, because I apparently forgot to do that, so... Oh, I don't think he has abilities either. Let me make sure of that. Nope, he does not. Okay, let's turn all that back on. You don't get items throughout any of this, so you don't need those. Those two would be really nice. Hyper healing's also... I mean, yeah, Donald's not that great in this fight because he'll more than likely die constantly. Item boost would be nice. Is there anything else that we can use? Defense boost, that would be nice. Give me that. Power boost. And magic boost. Anything that's not an AP boost will immediately go to Sora. I don't mind using those for Sora. Impy haste might actually be better. Alright, so now I'm going to do a room save, and in case you don't know what that is basically whenever you leave a room and then go back into the previous room, all your menu settings, they will stay the same. That way, if you end up losing the fight, you won't have to change it all the way. Because whenever you go into like a boss or whatever, you have to change all your stuff. Again, so yay. Alright, so at the beginning of Lexius, it's not really... You would think that it's not exactly that difficult, because at the very beginning, he doesn't do much damage to you. Even in a critical mode standard, he doesn't do much damage. That is if he actually manages to hit me, but thankfully he didn't. But just have to be careful about things. No. Yeah, like... Right now, he can't exactly hit me much. By the way, I remember in the PS3 version, this fight was not all that great because the rocks, they were pretty inconsistent about actually coming out of the ground sometimes, so... There we go. And I'm also able to, like, maximize the amount of actual damage that we're getting, because one thing that I'm doing is that I'm staggering out the reflect that I use. That way it acts as more than one reflect. And that killed me. That just one-shot me. Okay. And that, my friends, is what we call... What, oh, goodness, what was it actually called? I don't know why I'm having a brain fart right now. Oh, goodness. I'm too busy trying to fight. But whatever. I remember that is some really important number that you have to learn to utilize if you want to actually be, like, really, really good at the bosses. It's something that speedrunners use a lot. I don't know why I'm forgetting what it's called. Oh, I was not close. Wait, was I close enough? I guess I was. Maybe that or Donald and Goofy actually managed to do enough to knock him out. But using Reflect is very good in this fight. Alright, just gonna do that because he will always be able to run up to you. There's no way to dodge him at this point in time. Because I don't have an ability that I would need from, what is it? Okay, I don't have an ability that I would need from, Master Form. Okay, thank you. My goodness. I probably should have packed more ethers, considering that he does so much damage to me. Just gonna let that... more he didn't live. That's nice. Okay. He's gonna try and cheat this out. Unfortunately, that didn't hold out forever. Oh no, he grabbed me. That's probably it. Okay, no. Thankfully, it's not. No! I couldn't reflect to save myself. And Donald couldn't heal me either. Okay.
A few moments later.
Okay, so remember that thing I was mentioning in the previous attempt at this fight? That would be revenge value. I don't know why I managed to forget what that was actually called, but yes, that is revenge value. And basically how it works is that enemies and bosses have a certain, like, invisible number programmed into them that basically retains to their hits. So you have to, well, speedrunners use it to figure out, like, how to basically loop enemies. And if I end up going quiet, that's because I need to focus. I did end up changing the moveset I have a little bit. Well, not moveset. I say that like this is a fighting game, but... Oh, he did not get staggered from that. Okay, that's bad. Okay, he's not doing too much damage yet. Oh, what? I reflected too early.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting, and they had to hire a new one.
There we go. Alright. Sorry for me being silent for that last part, but goodness, that took way longer than you might have thought. Because there were a few times where I did get a little bit unlucky, but goodness, that took a very long time. But yeah, you can do this boss this early. Because realistically, I think you're supposed to have like a, what is it, the dodge from Kingdom Hearts 1, because you can get that from the limit form, but thankfully I didn't have to do that. I could just do whatever I wanted to. But oh goodness. Okay, so I don't think there's actually that much else that we can do, but I know we can do the Atlantica world and the Winnie. Well, no, we can't do Winnie because the world is locked up, but Atlantica I want to save for its own separate world, because I know a lot of people are just gonna skip over that. So let's just worry about that for another day. And yeah, I know this episode was really short, but compared to the really long episode that we had before, this is kind of a break. Okay, so like I was going to end the episode, but I figured since the episode's only like 15 minutes, I decided to try and do something real quick. So I want to show you guys a common like wisdom form grinding spot that I've kind of created myself. I mean, other people use this as well, but what I do is that I set Goofy onto Sora attack, that way he doesn't actually attack any enemies, and then Donald might as well be on Sora attack as well, that way he won't actually do anything when he's outside of the actual wisdom form. Give myself a bunch of ethers, that way my magic can go all the way up. Well, magic go all the way up, what am I saying? I can refill my magic whenever need be. Is there anything else I need? Don't think so. Oathkeeper is kind of needed to help keep the form longer. And right now, the highest I can get this, since I have 1, 2, 3 extra forms, the highest I can have it right now is level 6. Okay, that's a long time, but I'm not going to be doing that for that long. Okay, so what I tend to do, well, actually, this isn't exactly the best starting point. Point. What I like to do is that I like to go through these windows first. And the reason why I went into the form right away is because how the dry forms work is that there's a particular form that you kind of don't want to get, and it's mostly pretty bad if you do. But there is a way to avoid that form. I'm not going to spoil it until I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it at some point. But if I don't, that'll be an achievement all on its own. But regardless, in order to avoid that form, what I do is that I go into my dry form outside of battle. That way, there's absolutely no chance of getting the form. Because you can only get the form if you go into your drive while you're already in battle. Sorry that took me a little bit of time to actually explain for some reason. But, will I be able to do anything here? I could probably get maybe one... Actually, no. These are really bad Heartless to try and kill. Okay. So, as you can see, my dry form is running out. However, there is a way that we can deal with this. When you're running out of form, you can go back into Disney Town and then come back here. Drive gauge is automatically refilled. So that way, you can just continue to do this as much as you please. And then, not only that, all the Heartless respawn as well. So again, you can just grind in this spot for as long as you can until your heart's content. That or the level cap kicks in. Oh goodness, that was monstrous. But, yep, this is pretty much it until I feel like otherwise. And I actually can get the level 2 version of Quick Run, which honestly would have probably helped me a little bit more in the Lexius fight, because that took way longer than you might think. But, well, actually, I probably already mentioned that, but whatever. But one lucky thing that happens is that whenever you level up the form, you can stay within that form longer. Because last time, I was in, like, the last, well, second to last gauge when I got here, and now I'm on the third to last. But I can still die, so I need to make sure that that does not happen. Still need to... Okay, that was very close. He just came rushing from behind the building, dude. Alright. Luckily, they're not always invincible. They are invincible at first, but then you can just shoot them down. And I'm not paying attention to my drive gauge, so yay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really, all I can do aside from this is go to the Coliseum and participate in the tournament there, but I kind of don't want to. That's really it. But let's see... 32 more Heartless, so that's not bad. And then one other thing that you can do is that if you have the material, you can use a drive gauge, and then you'll be all set to continue. And luckily, at this point in the game, you can get Heartless in every single area, because at some point you won't be able to get killable Heartless in every area. So, once you get the forms, it's more than likely best to just deal with it now and get all that stuff out of the way. Because trust me, grinding for certain forms... Okay, so I guess there's not a Heartless in here. But grinding for certain... what is it? Areas can tend to be very, very annoying. And yay. I'm going to wait for my MP to recharge here. That way, killing these guys is extremely easy. Thunder's usually the best magic to use in terms of killing things. Now, will I be able to level up from this? More than likely not. There's not, like, over 20 Heartless in this one room. There's a decent amount, though. I think there's actually, like, at least 10. So, that's really good. Could possibly be 15. This is implying that I actually managed to kill them all. And I do. Perfect. So, let me check real quick. So, yeah, only 4 Heartless left. Not even bad. Oh, right. They respawn, like, very, very generously. So you can just do this for a good amount of time. Alright, can't do it anymore. Just gonna shoot you down. There we go. We're so close. Okay, I can probably gun these guys down. There we go. Alright, quick run level 2 and level 3 for the actual form. Let me get out of here so I don't end up dying. But really, this is all I can end up doing. Especially with the fact that the drive recoveries are now gone for me. So, in the next episode, we're actually going to be continuing on with the story. This was more just a little bit of a side drop because A, can't do Winnie the Pooh like I mentioned, and I can't do Atlantica because I want that to be its own complete world. So, and I don't want to do the Olympus Coliseum thing. So, next episode, we'll be going in there, and trust me, it's going to be a pretty memorable moment. But, until the next video, take care.